This is Twit.
Motorola announced it will partner up with Dave Hawkins' Phone Blocks community to make a modular smartphone a reality. Project Ara will be a free open hardware platform, which Motorola says is intended to do for hardware what Android did for software. A modular phone would allow the user to replace parts of the phone like the screen or camera without replacing the entire device. Motorola will begin inviting developers in a few months, hopes to have a developer's kit out sometime this winter.
The whole Google smartwatch thing is seeming pretty real. The latest whispers point to a launch as early as next year if the Wall Street Journal's contacts are correct, because development on the wearable devices has apparently reached the point where it could be ready for mass production within months. And Google is said to have already started talks with Asian manufacturers. This is according to anonymous sources, but bundle that in with some patents and some acquisitions earlier this year, which are both fact. And the Google Watch seems like less of a rumor all the time.
Amazon's Matchbook service is now live. Now, if you forgot, Matchbook lets you purchase discounted digital versions of physical books you bought on Amazon. Amazon says Matchbook is available for over 70,000 books, with more titles to be added in the future.
Apple reported $7.5 billion in profit on $37.5 billion in revenue, down from $8.2 billion in profit last year, but up over $36 billion in revenue the year before. Apple broke sales records, including 33.797 million iPhones sold. That's up over 26.91 million last year. But profit margins continued to shrink from 40% a year ago to 37%. Mac sales outpaced iPod sales for the first time since iPods ever.
Yeah. Nokia's Q3 2013 financial results are also in and show an operating profit of $162 million from $7.8 billion in revenue. Now, that's a big gain year over year. It's also interesting because this report is the first since Microsoft agreed to purchase Nokia's phone business, and that division, Devices and Services, performed as expected and actually posted a small loss of $118 million. Now, if you take the phone business and put it aside, Nokia's overall revenue was $3.8 billion, and it made $280 million in profit, which could be good for a post-phone future if we're entering one.
According to Strategy Analytics, Samsung shipped the most smartphones for the third quarter of this year. More than 250 million smartphones were shipped worldwide, and from all the smartphones, Samsung moved 88 million of them. If you're curious, Apple shipped over 33 million iPhones.
In a speech hosted by Film Independent, Netflix chief content officer Ted Sarandos suggested Netflix would like to get into making big movies, not just documentaries, and premiere them in theaters the same day as they're available on Netflix. To do that, he'd need theater owners on his side, and Sarandos said in his speech, quote, "As theater owners try to strangle innovation and distribution, not only are they going to kill theaters, they might kill movies." So I guess Netflix is going to have to buy the theaters at this point.
People who own a Moto X might have noticed something that looks like a little red sombrero on their home screens. If they have tapped the sombrero, that they know the Moto X kind of turns into a player for computer animation and street theater. Windy Day is the name of this production. It came from Motorola's in-house Moonshot division, Advanced Technology and Products. The research group, which started in May 2012, shares the high ambitions of Google's own long-term research project, Google X. This is a new type of storytelling that Motorola calls Spotlight Stories.
Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff, who, by the way, is facing re-election next year, is pressing lawmakers in Brazil to vote this week on a law requiring internet companies to store data obtained from Brazilians in servers located inside Brazil. The bill comes in response to reports that the United States spied on Brazilians, including President Rousseff herself.
Microsoft issued its security intelligence report and found 21% of users are still using Windows XP. Now, Microsoft will cease to provide security updates to XP in April 2014. Windows XP users are almost 6 times more likely to get malware infections compared to Windows 8 users. On the plus side, Microsoft announced its remote desktop app for Android and iOS has been downloaded 1 million times in 117 days, making it the most popular Microsoft app on Android. Hilariously, still no word on when the app may come to Windows Phone.
Oh, it will. I think.
One day.
Yeah, someday.